I had a lot of comments in my last video asking if running RUAN MEI with their S1 or with Memories of the Past or Cogs at S5 would be better, and I said that I was going to make a video on it. So that is a question that I'm going to be answering today, so let's get right into it. Normally when a character comes out, their signature light cone ends up being the best in slot for them, but for RUAN MEI, her signature light cone doesn't allow her to ultimate as much as she can. There are more free-to-play friendly light cones in the game that allow her to run her ultimate every 3 turns, and that is it's almost not possible with her light cone. So I'm going to be comparing what her ultimate rotations looks like in a few scenarios that I'm going to be discussing now. The first scenario is going to be an ER rope running Von Walker Pinaconi set for the 5% extra energy recharge, followed by S5 Cogs or Memories of the Past, because they both give you an extra 8 energy whenever you get hit or you hit somebody. The second scenario is going to be running an energy recharge rope by itself. So that gives you 119.4 energy regen with the S5 Cogs or Memories of the Past. The third scenario is going to be the energy recharge rope with Von Walker Pinaconi set for the 124.4% energy recharge rate, and also using her signature light cone at S1. And the last scenario we're going to be running is going to be running the energy recharge rate only using her S1. I also calculated these scenarios starting with her technique and also not starting with her technique, since starting with her technique actually provides her with a lot of extra energy. I have to point something out in case you missed it in the 1.6 live stream, but when you start off the fight using RUAN MEI's technique, she will cast her skill at no cost right at the beginning of the fight, and the energy associated with that skill is also going to regenerate, which means she's going to get an extra 30 at the start of fight, which means that in a game mode like MOC, she's going to start off with 65 energy plus the 30 from the skill that just triggered. Then she's going to take her turn, she's going to gain 5 more, that's an extra 35. You're already at 100 energy and you haven't even taken your turn yet, which means that she's going to be kind of like Ting Yun. She's going to be firing off her ultimate pretty much turn 1 as long as you start off with your tech. So now that we discussed that, we can go over to the spreadsheet because you're going to understand more the numbers because they're already incorporated into the spreadsheet. All right, the first scenario we're going to be taking a look at is energy recharge rope with Von Walker Pinaconi with 124.4 energy recharge with S5 Cogs and Memories of the Past. These two tables right here are MOC starts that have the 65 energy at the start. So it's incorporated right here at the end. You have the 65 energy right there. So turn 1, you're going to start with your skill as I mentioned previously, so that's going to add you another 30, and then as soon as you do your basic skill, it's going to add another 20. So that's why I have 50 right here. Your passive is going to trigger, giving you an extra 5. Memories of the Past or Cogs are going to trigger, so giving you an extra 8, giving you your 143 energy that is going to be enough for you to fire off your ultimate turn 1 on MOC. The following 2 turns you can do basic, and then skill, and then as soon as you trigger your skill, you're going to have just enough energy to fire off your ult 1 more time. So essentially 2 ults in 4 turns. This is a very solid rotation. It is the most consistent out of all of them because it guarantees you that every 3 turns you're going to be able to ult. The downside for this rotation is that you may suffer a little bit on the break effect substats. Keep in mind that getting to 180% break effect with RUAN MEI is the most important thing. So if you don't have busted substat rolls, you may not be able to fulfill both requirements of running this set and also getting the 180% break effect. So and that is double the case if you don't have Memories of the Past at S5, because Memories of the Past gives you break effect as well, so it makes it a lot easier for you to achieve that break effect, the break effect 180% break effect threshold. If you're running Cogs, you're just gonna have to push through with just substats, and that's very, very hard. So yeah, this is the best way of getting your ultimate every 3 turns, but I'm going to make a case later on in the video on why getting your ultimate every 3 turns, or why using your ultimate every 3 turns may not be the most optimal way of playing RUAN MEI, but we'll talk about that later on in the video. The second scenario is essentially the same thing, but we're running energy recharge rope by itself. So we're assuming that we took away the Pinaconi / Von Walk set, and then we're only running I guess Talia Kingdom of Banditry for the break effect, because I think it's way easier to do that. And as you can see, you can do the same thing that you did in the previous scenario where you have your ultimate on the very first turn, and then you're going to do basic skill, and you're going to be just about 4 energy short of getting your ultimate again. But the thing is that you have I think 3 turns to get hit. I put these little brackets right here so I can add a few. So if you're running the Thief set and you break an enemy, that gives you 3 energy, that gets you the ultimate right there. If you don't and you get hit, the least amount of energy you can get from getting hit is 5. So if you get 5 energy, you get your ultimate right there. So you have to do one of these 3 things for you to get your ultimate, any of them. And with her break efficiency being so cracked from the ultimate right here, it's going to be very easy for you to get that energy that you need. So I think this is also very viable. Like, you don't have to run the Pinaconi set, in my opinion, or the Von Walk set, in my opinion. You can go ahead and make it easier on yourself and build a break effect with Talia Kingdom of Banditry, and it'll also work out pretty nicely. These 2 tables underneath is the same thing as we did on the top, but without MOC and without starting with the tech. So on turn 1, you're going to get the 35 plus 5, that's 40 energy. And then you're going to do scale basic. And then at the 4th turn, when you start the turn, you're going to get the 5 energy from her passive, which is going to push you above the threshold to do your ultimate. So you can get you to your 4th turn, ultimate, and then do your skill one more time. And that is going to allow you to recycle more energy into your next ult, if that makes any sense. Same thing over here, but this one has a little bit more energy recharge rope, has that 5%. And with the 5% energy recharge rope, you will get it 100% of the time. You always get to 131.86, which is what we have here, and then what we also have over here. So if you run the Von Walk Pinaconi set with the energy recharge rope and S5 Cogs or Memories of the Past, 3-turn ultimates are going to be a thing for you, but you also have to keep in mind that you have to meet the 180% threshold for the break effect. If you can do all that, then you're set. You know, you're set. Moving on to a signature light cone ultimate rotations. The first one is going to be ER rope with Von Walk Pinaconi, 124.4 energy recharge rate with her signature light cone. And this is on MOC, starting off with her tech. Here is going to, same thing, turn 1, you're going to be able to ult. You're going to be wasting about 15 energy, which would have been really, really nice, because with the 15 energy, you could have probably made it to 130 over here. But with when you count for energy recharge. So that would have been nice if we could do that, but we can't. So you're going to waste that 15 energy. Start your turn 2 and do basic skill, because you have to skill here because your skill is going to run out at the start of her turn. So she is going to run out of her skill in turn 4. You're going to have to skill one more time. It's going to take you to 111.96. And then assuming you didn't get hit or anything like that, if you get hit by a big hit, you're going to get your ultimate right here, because big hits give you like 15 or 25. And if you get either of them, I think you should be able to get, let me see, let me do a 15 hit right here. Yeah, if you get a 15 hitter right here, you can get your ultimate. And then 25 hits also happen, so you can get your ultimate right here if you get hit in this process. But essentially, if you don't get hit, nothing happens. You're going to have to wait until turn 5, which means this entire turn, your team is not going to have her ultimate buff. But I'll explain later why that may not be a bad thing necessarily. So bear with me, guys. Next scenario is only energy recharge rope with 119.4 energy recharge rate at her S1. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you get the 10 energy, but here it doesn't really matter, because we can get if we put 0 here, we still get the ultimate. So that the 10 energy per wave doesn't really matter in this scenario. In MOC, it doesn't really matter on the first wave of MOC. It doesn't really matter. It's good for the second wave, not for this one. So the next scenario, same thing. You're going to be able to ult the first turn because you have the 10. Actually, if you don't have the 10, also you can do it. So I mean, it is what it is. In MOC, it's very easy for you to get the ultimate turn 1 if you start with the technique. The technique is so good. And then pretty much the same thing. You're gonna go into a basic skill here, and if you get hit by let's say a 15, I don't think you can get it. No, you don't get it. You have to get hit at least twice here. But you will be able to get it in turn 5 anyway, which is a point that I want to make. If you're going to run her signature light cone, by these numbers, it doesn't matter if you run the Pinaconi / Von Walk, because the 5% energy recharge rate has no bearing in whether you ultimate on turn 4 or 5. You're always going to ultimate turn 1, and you're always going to ultimate turn 5 unless you're getting hit consistently. So that's one thing that I want to point out, that it may not really matter if you run Pinaconi Von Walk. You may as well just, in my opinion, you may as well just run Kingdom of Banditry and beef up your break effect a lot, because RUAN MEI is going to be so savage. She's going to be so savage with that break effect, guys. All right, and then the bottom 2 tables is the same thing we did over here, but not in MOC and not starting with our tech. So just bare bones energy recharge. Your ult is pretty much guaranteed turn 4. And this is very interesting with the 5%, with the 124.4% energy recharge rate. Your ultimate can happen turn 3 if you're hit once. If you hit it right here, you're gonna get it like a turn earlier because we can put this on 0, and you can get it a turn earlier. But if you don't get hit at the start of your 4th turn, you're going to be able to get your ultimate, and then you're going to be able to skill and then go back into your regular rotation. So that's really, really nice. But if you run a RUAN MEI with a signature light cone only with 119.4 energy recharge rate, which is just the ER rope, you will get your 10, and then that'll push you up to 125. So you're going to have to get hit in one of these turns for you to get it. Like any hit will do. Even if you break somebody, like if you break somebody, you're gonna have to break multiple people. But if you get hit once, let's say a 5 hitter, you're able to get it. If you break 2 people, let's say in these 2 basics, you break one here and then you break another one here, you're able to get it. So you can plan out what you do. And another thing with RUAN MEI, her break effect is going to be so high. And if you have her on level 80, her break effect is going to be so high that if you end up breaking somebody here, let's say it's a little ad, it's probably going to end up dying and you're going to get 10 over here. RUAN MEI has a lot of ways of getting energy. And we're not even talking about Huahua. If you have Huahua, you don't even have, I don't think you have to run an energy recharge rate. I didn't do the table for Huahua. I may do it for myself, or I may do it for another future guide whenever I do a team build video. The case I wanted to make in regards firing off RUAN MEI's ultimate every 3 turns may not be the best thing to do in the first place is because yes, the all type rest pen for all allies in the field is for the 2 turns after you ultimate. So yes, that will apply immediately. However, the Thenapado Rebloom, which is her actual break effect damage and her delay amplification, only happens if you break the enemy. So if you fire off your ultimate in a turn where you're not going to be breaking anyone, you're pretty much going to be wasting half her ultimate over here. You're only going to be taking advantage of the all-type rest pen, and if that is enough for you to get the kill on the enemy and finish off the fight, then that's fine. But in some cases, you may want to time the ultimate in a way that you're going to be able to break an enemy and trigger this part of her passive. Because right here, there's going to be a lot of action delay and a lot of break damage, and you don't really want to miss out on that if possible. So unless you're finishing off the fight with the all-type rest pen buff that you get, you may not even want to fire off the ultimate in the first place. So that is the point I want to make in regards to firing off her 3-turn ultimate. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this analysis that I did. If I'm wrong, if I missed something, let me know in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to fix my tables. There's no point of having wrong information, right? So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully this video helped you make a good decision on whether the best way or best light cone to run on your RUAN MEI. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, see ya.